builder's, but I'm confused. Should I should I call the actual builder's number or call the agent to get to the builder?
Okay, okay, hold on. There's a couple of things, a couple of red flags there. So what you're saying is you are going online, you're finding these properties like using Deal Sniper, right?
No. Oh no, I'm not using Deal Sniper. I was like what the little dude in the chat, Tortilla. What's his name?
Torta something. Yep.
Yeah. Cause I was talking about doing land deals and stuff. Wait, can you do land deals on Deal Sniper?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I thought it
Yeah,
was
you
just
can, yeah.
properties. Houses. Oh damn, I didn't even know.
Okay, so stop. Hold on. Regardless of where you got the deal,
Mhm.
the property's on market.
Yeah.
And your question is, do you contact the real estate agent to get the seller's phone number, or do you just call the seller directly?
When I go, cause what he said in the group chat, he was like, "Oh, you have to call these builders that got properties listed on on market and ask them if they're interested in buying more lands in the area that they're building in." So, but when I go on Zillow,
Oh, you're reverse wholesaling. Okay, I got you.
yeah.
I
So
got you.
that's why I was asking, like, should I call the agent that listing the properties and ask them for the builder? Because that's what I've been doing.
No,
Call the builders,
I
right?
mean, yeah, I personally look. Any good real estate agent is not going to just give up their client's information like that.
Right.
So you're going to be like ice skating uphill trying to get that from them.
So should I just put the building company name into Google and then call them?
Yep.
Okay. That's
And you want to ask for the acquisitions department.
acquisition. Okay, let me type that. Let me write that down. Acquisition department. Uh,
Yeah, ask for who runs acquisitions and just say, hey, I've got a couple of properties in this zip code. Don't tell them where.
mhm.
I've got a couple properties in this zip code that I'm about to lock up under contract. Just curious, if I do buy them, do you guys want first crack at them? That's how you word it. Because
Okay.
everybody wants to feel exclusive.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Say that again. I got a couple of properties that I'm about to lock up.
I have a couple of properties that I'm about to lock up in this zip code.
Mhm.
Are you guys buying in this area? And if you are, would you like me to send them to you to give you first crack at them?
Okay.
If they say yes, or if they say anything positive,
Mhm.
then that's when that's the quote unquote green light to start probing. Awesome. Yeah, I'll send those right over. Do you want me to email them to you? Great. What's your email address? Now you've got contact email address for the acquisitions person. Then you would say, hey, what type? I don't want to waste your time. You always, anytime you're asking someone for something,
Mhm.
you frame it in a way where you're asking them for their benefit.
Okay.
So what does that sound like? Hey, I'll just let's say I don't want to waste your time. Yeah, we'll start with that one. So here's
Okay.
what you're gonna do. You're gonna say, hey, I don't want to waste your time by sending you guys properties that you're not even really interested in. So what kind of properties do you buy? And then you shut up and you let them tell you, oh, we want properties in this zip code. We
Mhm.
want this. We want this. If they don't mention price, say, hey, what's your price limit? You know, what range are you looking at? Those are that's the terminology you want to use, range, because then that'll give them an opening. You're not locking them down into one particular or two particular numbers for
Mhm.
prices. They can give you a range.
Okay.
And then if they give you a range and they give you all this information, and then you call the properties that actually have the land that
Mhm.
you're trying to get under contract, now you have some direction on which ones you should target and how much you should get them for.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I understand that part. The last part would be so if I get, for example, right, if I get
Mhm.
if I get a seller to if I get a property under contract from the seller from the seller, do I immediately send that contract to the title company, or do I wait until I have a buyer before I send them, or do I have to like send both forms at the same time, or like the first one that gets signed gets sent to title company, or how does that work? Because I've
So
been confused on that.
personally, you can do it either way. But personally, what I do and what I found most people do
Mhm.
is they wait until they have a buyer.
Oh, okay.
Once you have the buyer, then at that point,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to think about that situation, what are you going to have? You'll have the contract signed with the seller. That's the A and B contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll have the assignment contract signed with the buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can take both of those and turn those into title, open title, and then they can do their thing.
Okay, so if I submit both those contracts before the inspection period is over, then the closing date will be, hold on.
The closing date is whatever you decided and negotiated with the seller that's on the A and B contract. So
Okay.
you're not, when you guys get a deal under contract, you're
Mhm.
not asking the buyer, when do you want to close? You're telling them, hey, this
Okay.
contract is going to close on this date because it's already been determined with
Mhm.
when you got it under contract in the first place, what
Mhm.
the close of escrow is. And the buyer needs to adhere to that. So if
Okay.
it's in 2 weeks, man, you better get your money in 2 weeks. I'm talking
Okay.
about the buyer.
Okay. Got you. All right. Appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
That's what I had questions on about the title and then the land deals. So, because this week I've been I'm gonna do that strategy that you just mentioned, calling the builder's actual phone number instead of the agents. I'm gonna do that because I've been calling all week, bro. They've just been ignoring the shit out of me. So I'm gonna
Okay.
start calling them. All right, appreciate it, man. Can you share this with me? This live?
Video? Yeah,
Yeah. All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
no worries. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? I'm on here for you guys.
Quick question, Sean. Can you hear me?
A little bit. What's up, Noah?
So I the Discord about their email or about
Oh, hold on, shit, dude. You're cutting out a little bit more than I can hear you.
1 second. Hold
Oh
on.
shit, no, that's great. Now I can hear you.
You can hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you much
Perfect.
better now.
So I was asking you about when you're going about emailing these realtors, how do you let them know you're a wholesaler?
Mhm.
Would you just say something like, yeah, I'm working with a team of investors looking to do assignment of contract, something like that? I know Deal Sniper has the general like outline. That's kind of what I've been going off of, but how would you like let them know?
So there's always a way to package something, right? To
Hmm.
say things in a certain way to where it's received a lot better.
Right.
So I wait. I wait until they ask me for the POF, the proof of funds.
Hmm.
When they ask me for a proof of funds, then I say something along the lines of, absolutely, because the first thing you want to do is agree. Absolutely, I'd love to submit a proof of funds. Let me explain to you a little bit how I work. So what market are you marketing, dude?
I am doing like Bucks County. It's right around my area. I'm just trying to do like seller finance deals, like stuff between like 150, 350K.
What city is that in?
It's around like Doylestown or yeah, Doylestown.
Okay. So typically what I say is absolutely, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, I'd love to present you a proof of funds. Let me explain a little bit about what I do.
Hmm.
For the last few years, I've been cultivating relationships with investors in this market, local. I've been
Hmm.
working with them for years. Right now, I've got about 8 or 9 of them that I know for a fact would be interested in this deal if I can get it for these terms or very close to it. I've got a little bit of wiggle room. Long story short, my buyers are going to be putting tenants in here and they're looking to cash flow. They don't care
Okay.
about the purchase price. They don't care, about anything other than will it cash flow. And this property will cash flow under the terms that I sent you. So
Hmm.
all I need from you is to get this thing under contract for 2 weeks. Let me push it to my investors. I know for a fact if we can get it for these terms, at least 4 or 5 of them will want to jump on it. As soon as I've identified which one wants to move forward, I'll submit their proof of funds. I'll submit EMD, and I can do that within 48 hours. And a lot of times with terms like this, my buyers, they don't need to go to bank. They have cash liquid, so we can close quick.
Okay. I got it. So you said if I get the deal for these terms, I have, how many ever given buyers looking to buy a deal like this at this moment. Then if you give me 2 weeks, so in sort of that sort of format.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm
Okay.
basically I'm doing a couple of things. So you want to be specific. That's
Hmm.
why I asked what market you're in. You want to be specific when you say, "Hey, I've got buyers. I've got X amount of buyers." You want to use a specific number. You don't want to
Yeah.
say anything crazy. I've got 200 buyers. No, you don't. No one
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
But if I say anywhere less than 12. Hey, look, I've got 9 buyers here in Birmingham that I've been working with for years. They
Mhm.
love these kind of deals. This is the type of deals that they go for because they're going to put tenants in there so they can cash flow. That's why I gave you an over asking price for a property that has had trouble moving, because
Mhm.
my investors don't care. They're not going to sell it. They just need the cash flow. So I can get you a proof of funds, I can get you EMD, and I can get this thing closed quick. I just need to get it under contract so I can give them enough time to do their due diligence and figure out which one of them is going to close.
Okay.
And then if they say something along the lines of, well, why can't you just bring me your buyer?
Mhm.
Well, to be quite frank with you, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, getting this under contract secures my fiduciary responsibility in this transaction. The only way that I can make sure that I'm getting paid, and the only way I can make sure that you're getting paid, is to make sure that it's on contract. So I'm
Right.
not
Getting it.
asking for
Right.
anything. Exactly. I'm not looking at asking for anything crazy. Give me 10 days. Let me push this to my buyers. I know for a fact a couple of them will want to take it down. As soon as I identify which one, we can get this thing moved and get everybody paid.
Okay, that makes sense. So getting it under contract kind of secures my side of it. Make sure I get
Exactly.
paid. Make sure. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I emailed a realtor today. They replied to me. They texted me and put me in a group chat with the seller and said, "Hey, thanks for the offer. We need your date of birth, so it's like Social Security, tax return." So in that situation, should I text back and kind of go along with what you just said and say, "Here's how I work in terms
Exactly.
of."
Yeah. It sounds
Yeah.
like they think that you're going to be the one buying the property, and that's
Right.
that's not the case.
Right. I guess, yeah, I wasn't explicit enough in the email since I kind of just said we, which, that's not, I guess I need to be more clear.
I mean, that's
Um,
okay. I mean, you could still be we. It's you and some your partners, you and your investors, whoever. But the
yeah,
bottom line is you're not the one buying it. So they
right.
need to be able to,
So
you know,
that's okay to say in that first email, shooting them the offer, but you're saying wait for them to ask. And then I'll be
yeah,
like, here's
because
how I kind of,
like right now,
right.
when they're asking, oh, I need this, this, and this. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe I didn't make it clear. Let me explain to you a little bit how I work, and then you
Got
just
it.
go right into it.
Got it. Got it. All right. That makes sense. Thank you so much for your help.
Not a problem.
All right.
All right. Who else has got a question? Nobody. All right. Well, it's a fast training. It's okay. We're a little late today. That's my apology, guys. I've got some other
I
things
have
that I'm.
I have a question actually.
Oh, what's up, Ruben?
I uh I got an email back from a real estate agent.
Okay.
All it says is yes, this works for me. What do I do from there? I'm not.
She said, yes, this works for you. And
Yeah,
then,
the deal. It's a he, but
oh, okay. So send in the contract.
just do I send in the seller finance contract and then
Is it a seller financing deal?
I mean I just sent him whatever the dealer sniper sent me. So I'm not. Is
Okay.
that seller finance?
Yeah. Yeah. Default is seller finance. So
Okay.
then, yes, in the Discord on the bottom left, you'll see the forms section. And on that section, you'll see at the top, I think it's the second one from the top. It'll say cash and seller
And seller
financing contract.
finance.
Yep. And then there's a video showing you exactly how to fill it out. Good job.
Okay. And then from there, after that, how do I? So I don't really have buyers. I guess this is
So
my third
you,
day. So
all right, show off. So what you could do, there's a couple of things. There's a few videos on my channel that shows you exactly how to disposition your deal on your own for free,
okay.
and those processes work. Or you can work with a JV team or a disposition team. I've got one. If you want to work with my team, it's a 60-40 split on the assignment. You get 60%, we get 40%.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that at least for my first few. I don't really.
Well, the great thing about it is when we're dispoing deals for you, we're going to teach, if you're open, if you want to, we're going to teach you how to
Yes.
disposition as well.
Okay.
The idea is yeah, we can help you the first few times. I mean, we'll help you forever if you want to keep paying us at 40%.
Yeah. For sure. You know.
But my goal is for you guys to keep all your money. So I'll teach you how to disposition your deal until you don't need us to do it anymore. You can do it on your own.
Okay.
So
So
if If
Go ahead.
the situation comes to that, once the contract is signed by you and the seller, then you go into the Discord channel. It's above the form section. You'll see disposition channel. There's a form there. Fill it out. DM it to me with a copy of the contract, and my team will push it the next day.
DM it to you on the Discord.
Yep,
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
not a problem. All right, Marquise, what's up, dude?
All right, what's up, bro?
Not
Hey,
much.
man.
I heard you got some showing off to do. How many deals did you
Bro,
work today?
I had three, and then I literally just got another one, like the fourth one, in like the past 10 minutes.
Now I want to, and I'm not trying to put you on blast. I just
Yeah.
want you to be honest.
Uh-huh.
How many days have you been working Deal Sniper?
3 days. It's
There you
Tuesday.
go. There you go. Oh, I love it. All right. So what do you need? You need help underwriting or
Yeah,
okay.
underwriting. So the first
What-
one, do
what
you
kind
want
of
me to
deals
text
are
you the
there?
address?
No, I don't need the address. I just need the numbers. And you can
The
just send me
numbers.
the
Okay. All right. 1 second.
So what's the purchase price for the first one?
Let me pull the first one up. 1 second.
And is it a seller finance? Hybrid or sub two?
This one is hybrid. It's when
Okay.
I was trying to figure it out on the calculator, but it was this one. That one is kind of hybrid. Is kind of tough for me.
It's hard in the beginning until you see it like once or twice and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Because basically a hybrid, if you were to ignore everything in this column but this, it's just
1
a subject
second.
too.
Yeah.
And then if you ignore everything but this, it's just a seller finance. You're just putting them together. It's all this. But yeah, we'll work through it. How much are they?
They
how
want
much do you offer them?
they want 325 for it.
325,000.
Yep.
Okay. And then
Um,
how much is the mortgage balance?
the mortgage balance. I'm trying to pull this up. 1 second.
Oh, do you think?
Mortgage balance is 226. 2.5 interest rate.
Nice. What's the monthly payment?
Monthly payment is 12, but I think the PITI is 14. It's 14.18.
1418. Okay. And then how much you giving them as a down payment?
That I was trying to figure out, like, how exactly do I calculate that, or is it just up to me?
Well, what did Deal Sniper say to give them? Like, what did you send them?
I didn't send them anything yet. No numbers yet.
Oh, okay. So then what does Deal Sniper say to give them?
So just I'm looking at Deal Sniper right now, and click, does this property have a mortgage?
Click no.
Click
Yep.
no. Down payment, it says 25,000.
Okay. So that
And
means the seller finance amount would be 74. Yep, 74,000. And then how much will this thing rent for?
It will rent for $2,055.
Okay. And are we paying any realtor commissions?
That's the screenshot I sent you with he was asking that who's paying he asked
Who's paying my commission? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, did you respond to him what I told you to say? What I told you to say?
not yet.
Okay. So yeah, we got to start there. The most we'll pay is 3%, period. And I like it to be less than that.
Yeah.
But if it's 3%, what is that? $9,750?
Of 226?
No, it's of the purchase price.
325.
Yeah.
25. Yep, $9,750.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's why we need to work on that. That's just as much. I mean, we're making 10.
Yeah.
So if they want to make 10, but if it doesn't work for the deal, and we didn't sign a contract saying that we would pay it, the seller did. So
Right.
technically, it should come out of that. But I can understand a real estate agent or a seller doesn't want to give up 10 grand if they're only getting 25. So if we can
Right.
make it work, we will.
Right.
All right. You said 1418. This deal doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, so the deal works. The deal works, but not giving them any money on the seller financing portion. The only way this can work is if you did no interest, no payments for 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, between 2 and 3 years
No interest, no payment.
on the equity,
74,000.
on the
Okay.
74,000. So what that means is they'll get 25,000 at closing, and then in another 2 years they'll get a check for $74,000,
Okay.
and then they're done, and then we're just paying that mortgage payment for them every month.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like they would take that.
If you can get that locked up, we can get that moved, because
Okay.
you're just barely coming in. Like technically, this is supposed to be 10,
Mhm.
but your cash on cash return, and this is close enough to. Oh shit! Never mind. Yeah, this is not calculating the.
So what if we deduct the realtor payment?
No, that's what I'm saying. The realtor payment wasn't in here. I just put it in.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it doesn't change the cash flow, but it drops the cash on cash return too low. This deal doesn't work.
Okay.
The only way this deal would work is if it were good as a short-term rental. Do you know how to run Air DNA numbers?
I don't.
What city is it in?
It is in Jacksonville.
Are you on your computer?
Mhm.
Okay, you can follow along with me. For anyone else who wants to follow along, I'm about to show you how to run short-term rental numbers. So obviously you'll use the address for the property, but I don't want to put the address on this video because it'll be uploaded.
Mhm.
So I'm going to use this address. You just follow along with the actual address. Cool?
Yep.
And then anyone else who wants to follow along, follow along. So you're going to go to AirDNA. You're going to sign up. It's free. You don't for what we're going to use it for. You're never going to have to pay for AirDNA. It's just free.
Mhm.
So you don't have to worry about that. But you are going to need an account, or you're not going to be able to do this. So once you're in AirDNA, you're going to put in the address.
Okay.
Once you put in the address, you hit search. This is going to pop up. It'll already do that. We used to have to do this, but they updated. We used to have to put in the bedrooms, the bathrooms, and then double the guest size, but it's doing it for us now. So that's great. So the only thing you're looking for, the only thing you give a shit about on this page is this number right here, projected revenue. And what you have to remember is that the projected revenue is yearly.
Mhm.
That's a yearly number. So it's $34,000. We need to know what the monthly is. So we're going to divide it by 12. You take $34,000 and divide it by 12, you get like $2,800. So now I can go over to this deal and I can put $2,800 there because that is the monthly short-term rental rent.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go back over to hybrid. That's even worse. Damn, that's worse. Because look at your cash on cash return.
Yeah.
And look at your cash flow. And this is a year. So this works. For a good cash flow, you need to have at least $300 a month in cash flow. This would work. But the reason why it doesn't work is because the cash on cash return is so low. And
Mhm.
what I mean by that, here's how I figured this out. What this means is if an investor wanted to go to a bank and put the same amount of money that they were going to put into our deal into something like a T-bill is going to give them an 8% cash on cash return at a minimum,
Mhm.
without having to worry about tenants, taxes, insurance, maintenance, capex, none of that shit. So from an investor standpoint, this deal doesn't make sense. Even though it's bringing in the around cash flow, they can take that same amount of money, go stick it in the bank and get 8%. This is only at 7.6. That's why our minimum is 10. So this deal doesn't work, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, we can move on.
Okay. What's the next?
The next one, purchase price
Wait,
is
what kind of deal is it?
well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hybrid again.
Okay. What's the listing price, or how much are they asking?
265.
Okay. What's the mortgage balance?
Balance 207.
Okay. And then how much are you giving them for a down payment?
1 second. 20,000. 20,405. That's what it say.
All right. I'm just going to do 20,000 around it. What'll it rent for?
$17. Just you can say $1,800.
Okay. What's the PITI? The monthly payment for the mortgage?
1336. Total plus HOA. Oh shit. Am I
Uh-oh.
looking at the one on Deal Sniper, right?
Yeah. What's the H? Wait. Whoa. Hold on a second. Let me do something real quick. The numbers that you're giving me, are
Mhm.
they when I asked you for the PITI, are you giving me this?
That's what I was about to.
But did you give me that? Is this where you got the PITI for the last deal?
No.
Okay, you got that from the realtor.
Yeah.
Okay, we need the PITI from the realtor. This is an estimate.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
she just told me that the monthly payment was 1336.
There you go. Okay,
Yep.
that's all I need. All right, so 1330. Okay, 1336. You got the interest rate?
2.875.
Nice.
Mhm.
Okay, and then 265, 207, 38,000. Okay. All right, and then no short-term rental, realtor commission.
Didn't talk about it.
All right, I'll leave it out for now, and then we'll add it before we're done. So that way we'll have the best case and the worst case. You say it'll rent for 1,800.
Yep.
All right. No, cash flow is too low,
Yeah.
and that's not even paying the seller. Even if
Mhm.
we gave the seller $100 a month, that means that the buyer would only be making about $1,100 a year.
Okay. What? So it's really just. So I guess the hard part is finding a deal that actually works once you get them to accept creative finance. You got to actually pencil up.
It's got a cash flow. Now,
Yeah.
there is another thing that you can do. You can you can lock the deal up and try and move it as a homestead buyer deal, but we don't move those. So you'd have to move that on your own.
Okay.
And there's videos on the channel that shows you how to do it.
Okay. The last one is I know that one probably not gonna work, but we could try it.
All right. How much are they selling it for?
1 second, pull it up. They want 199 for it.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna do 200. We'll give them an extra $1,000 or $100. I'm sure they're not gonna care. What is the mortgage balance?
Mortgage balance. Did I write that? I'm not sure. 1 second. I think I got it in my text message.
Okay. All right. And then
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. So we probably could skip this one then in the meantime.
all right. Question though. Let's go through the immediate issue and let's make sure you understand how to work these yourself. I will always underwrite them if you need help, but I don't want you to have to wait on me in case I'm busy.
Mhm.
So what I typically do, actually, you know what? I'll just do the one that you had. So I put the purchase price up here. That's just so I can do math easier in my head.
Mhm.
Okay. Plus, it'll also help me determine if it's going to be a subject to or a hybrid.
Mhm.
So you take the 200,000. If you want to follow along, you got your cell phone or a calculator near you?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. So you said we don't know the mortgage balance. So I'm going to make it up. We'll just say it's 80 grand, right?
Mhm.
And then this I'm going to get rid of. And then this I will get rid of just to show you. So they're selling for $200,000. Our SOP stipulates that we can only give them max 10% down, right? So it's 10% down of the purchase price. That would be 20 grand. So we can figure that out. Now, how do you figure out the seller finance amount? Well, what you do is you take the purchase price, which is $200,000, you subtract the mortgage balance, which is $80,000, and then you subtract the down payment, which is $20,000. And whatever's left, in this case, would be about 100 grand. That's the sell. Whatever's left That's your seller financed amount.
Okay.
And then you just put the rest of the numbers in accordingly. So for this one, we're going to say, I'm going to change it just so I can change it on the other screen. We'll just say it's $1,000, right?
Mhm.
So once I go to hybrid, I also need to make sure that they match. So the PITI for the mortgage is $1,000.
Oh no, I got the mortgage balance. I just looked it up on PropWire. It's 187. 187,000.
Oh, then that's a sub two. And that's a, depending on what it'll rent for, that could be a layup.
Mm-hmm. He said the PITI was like 1,500 though. That was my only concern.
What does it rent for?
Regular rental 1,200, but with it's positive cash flow on the Section 8. It's
Okay,
like
how much does it rent for as a Section 8?
2,000.
Okay. That's 20. All right. And then we would give them, I would say 15 grand for this one.
He said he wanted 10. That's what he told me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Say less.
I actually I was negotiating that he didn't get anything, to be honest.
All right, man. You can give, there's enough to give everybody some money.
Yeah.
What's the mortgage balance again? 187?
Yeah.
That's kill code. And the PITI was, you said how much? 15?
He said 15 to 16.
Okay. 15. Oops. It's so fucking close.
Yeah.
The cash, so your cash on cash return works, but your cash flow doesn't. Let me ask you this: what condition is the property in?
So good. It's brand new almost.
I say
not
try.
Not brand new. It's rentable for sure.
I say go for it.
Yeah.
I say go for it. Here's is it the same thing in Florida?
Yep.
Did you run the short-term rental numbers?
I didn't. Nope.
You should run those.
Yep. Jacksonville.
Okay. Yeah, you should run the short-term rental numbers.
Okay.
And see if they work.
How much would it be for a wholesale on this one? And we didn't put the realtor commission either.
That was literally my next statement. So the only thing that's going to fuck this deal up would be the real estate agent's commission, because that's going to annihilate the cash on cash return.
Yeah.
If they're charging the standard 3%, that's 58.75 ish.
I'm gonna just say I could give you 2,500.
Let's see.
Because he want me to get on a phone call with him too and explain it. So.
Oops.
I could try that.
Yeah, I still say go for it. I say go for it. And when it comes to the realtor commission, then yeah, you can say, look, I can help the seller out, but this deal is already so tight, I really shouldn't even be pushing it.
Yeah.
Because it's only bringing in about $200 a month, which is $100 less than what my investors typically want. But because the property is in good shape and because of its location, I'm going to try and push it out and see if I can move it anyway. And that's how you posture that one.
Okay.
No
now,
HOA?
How would I let me see. No HOA.
Not. There you go. I would go for it.
Okay.
I would 100% go for that.
Now, how would I write that in the offer? Would I just put those numbers in?
So in the Discord, on the left towards the bottom, you'll see it'll say subject to and hybrid contract, and then there's a video showing you step by step how to fill it out.
Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. The other two, I don't got the addresses yet. He was going to a workout, so he said he's gonna send them afterwards.
Okay, cool. I mean, the only thing we need to run is the numbers. But do you understand, for the most part, how to run a hybrid now? Like where the numbers go, what numbers you need?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's the most important part.
Yep. Appreciate it.
No worries. All right. Does anybody else have a question?
I have a question. Well, not really a question, more like a statement, I guess. I was telling you that I had a deal or whatever.
Yeah.
So I put the numbers in the underwriting thing, and it comes out to, I mean, it works, but it's not making $300 a month. It's like $230. So
All
I
right.
shouldn't even.
Well, that depends. Let's see how close it is. Is it a hybrid seller finance or a sub two?
It's seller finance.
Okay, what's the purchase price?
The deal was 120 and then 99.6.
Wait, what?
996. 120,909.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, and what'd you give him as the seller finance amount?
It's 112, 526.
Okay. Oh, one.
I forgot to clean this one up, I guess.
That's all right. So then this
Yeah.
is at what, you got $8,000 and some change as a down payment.
Yeah, 8469.
All right, and what'll it rent for?
Estimated rent says 879.97.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do 900. What are the taxes and the insurance?
Taxes is 1,129 and 58 cents.
Okay, and the insurance?
Is 462.
Is there an HOA?
No. Oh. Was it? It says PIT plus HOA, but there's on up here it says HOA year nothing.
Okay, then yeah, there's no HOA. And
Okay.
then what did they say we should give them as a monthly payment?
It says 378.39.
Damn, I was close. Well, I'm not gonna do 378. We'll do 375. Yeah, I still say that's enough.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being super generous today or what, but I mean that's $260 ish a month. That's fine, because here's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize, and this is kind of like next level stuff, and this is also conversations that you guys can have with buyers who are on the fence about buying deals like this, right? Because we want this to be $300 and it's real close. But here's the argument that you can make. Well, here's the thing, Ruben. Let's say you're the buyer. Here's the thing, Ruben. Next year, the rent's going to go up.
Yeah.
So even if you go up $1,000, $100, so you're at $1,000 a month. Well, now you're cash flowing $4,100 a year, which is well over the $300 threshold. So you should be good. And this year's almost over. So you only got about 7 months to be making about $260, and then it'll be much more beneficial the next year. And then guess what? The year after that, the rent goes up again, but your payment stays the same. That's why I would push this deal, because you have that argument, and it's a valid argument that makes sense, and you're only $40 off, but your cash on cash return is really good.
Okay, I have another question. When I send the contract in, should I clean the numbers up? Or
Absolutely. Your numbers should always be clean.
Okay.
Like, even if you sent the real estate agent your unclean numbers, God, that sounds terrible when you say it that way. But when you send the numbers that haven't been cleaned up yet, your contract should be clean numbers. And in this situation, like you did 120,800 and something, right?
Yeah.
Just change it to 121.
Okay.
So that way they're not losing $800, because they may say, well, why are the numbers different? Well, the numbers are different because I just want to clean them up. But if you notice, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor or Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I went up. I rounded up. I didn't round down. So you're actually getting more money. So relax.
Okay.
That's what I would do. But yeah, this deal works. I say go for it.
All right, I'll send the contract. What was that?
What city is it in?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good market. I'd say send it.
Okay.
Property's in good shape?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good job, man.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, does anybody else have a question? Cool. Then I will let you guys go for the evening. I will be in.
I actually have one more question.
What's up, Ruben?
On the contract where it says seller, do I have to contact him for the seller's name, or do I put the real estate agent's name?
You don't. Oh, actually, let me answer that question for everybody who's new. The real estate agent, unless they are also the owner of the property, cannot sign on behalf of the seller. So I recommend you watch the video first. But to answer your question, there are boxes that you're going to use for either DocHub, DocuSign, whatever you're using to fill the contract out, Adobe, whatever. So you don't need the seller's name. You don't have to put the seller's information there. The seller's going
Gotcha.
to put
I know what you're saying. I watched the video already, so just
Yeah.
just make sure it's
it's assigned to
asterisk.
their email.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need any asterisks. You just make sure that those
It's
boxes
assigned to their email.
is assigned to their email. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So he just sent one of the addresses. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
To look up short-term numbers.
No, for another creative.
Oh,
finance
you want to do another one? All right.
Typing in on
Batch leads.
the sniper. 1 second. It's in San Antonio.
Nice.
All right, so 359, 360 action price. 340.
What kind of deal is it? Seller finance?
Oh, see, it's seller finance. No. Sub 2.
Sub 2.
Yep.
So it's a 300 and what's the mortgage? 340?
340. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a sub 2.
Mm-hmm.
How much do they want? 20 grand?
He said 15K buy-in.
Okay. And then what'll it rent for?
I say 1,800, which is bad.
Uh-oh.
Because-
Why? What's the PITI?
25.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. That's negative.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a negative
He
cash.
said 7-year balloon too.
Well, you don't throw a balloon on a subject too, because the subject the mortgage is with the bank. So if they have a balloon on it, okay. Now they can ask, hey, can you pay this fucking mortgage off in 7 years? And with that purchase price, that's fine. Yeah, 365, 7. I prefer 7 to 10 would be better, but the deal unfortunately doesn't cash flow. Well, yeah, it doesn't cash flow because once I change this to 2,500, yeah, it's losing $11,000 a year.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So this recording will be up on the. Oh, what's up? Oh, that's right, Darren. What's up? I almost got off this damn thing.
I just had the roughest phone call of my life. So I'm pitching the novation and all that. Her pushback was that she went through, like, somebody else was doing it for her, and like she wasted 90 days. She was supposed to close May 19th or something like that. And like she was mainly worried about her time being wasted. And I was trying to make it super clear that, your time isn't at risk. Mine is, because we're doing all the hard lifting for her.
There you go.
So that's what I said. And we just ended the phone call. She was like, you know what, let me make a couple phone calls. And so I'm just kind of wondering, how should I pitch this? How should I get her on my side?
Well, what did you say to her in the first place? How did you explain to her what a novation is?
I was like word for word.
Yeah, what did you say?
Okay, let me go up. I said, so instead of us buying it at a discount like most investors do, I can partner with a retail buyer who pay close to market value. Basically, my team covers the upfront costs of prepping for the market if needed, and we handle everything: cleaning, repairs, etc. You don't lift a finger or pay anything out at all. This is basically just called a novation deal. It just means we step in as a middle party and handle all the heavy lifting. That was my script when I went into it.
Okay. So what was her main concern? Is that she did this once already before, that she did a novation before, or she worked with a wholesaler before?
I guess she did a novation. She said a company promised that it was going to close in 90 days. And and I was trying to stress it to her, I'm not making no promises here. And the risk is my time. And also, and I was trying to let her know that if another buyer or something came along while we was under contract, I'm not going to hold her to that. And I don't know. I was just trying to see how could I get on my side.
So that
I
was
was trying to be empathetic too. Like I was showing, like I'm really trying to help you in your situation. I know you want 130. I'm not trying to short sell you and offer you 90K for your house when you need to get 130 to get out your mortgage.
Gotcha. Okay. So a couple of things. Not that you did anything inherently wrong. If I remember correctly, this is your first time trying to pitch Novation, right?
Yeah. It's my
Okay.
first time.
So you had the gist of it. You had the gist of it. You just, I think your delivery needed a little bit of work. Now I get it. I put you on blast, so you probably didn't sound exactly to her the way you sounded to me just now because I had you do it off, off the
Yeah.
cuff. But here's the way I explain novations, especially in your situation. So for those of you that don't know, wait, hold on, Darren, you don't mind if I give them a little background on the deal, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, a novation deal is where we take power of attorney to list the seller's property on market with an agent.
Power of attorney.
Okay. So the way that I explain it, especially for your situation, Darren, I would have said something like this. What's your seller's name? No, fuck it. I'll talk to you. So Darren, here's the situation. You have a mortgage for your property of $130,000, and none of my investors are going to give you $130,000 for the property due to the condition and its value. But I want to make sure that I can help you. I know you've worked with people before, but we do have a program that's a little bit different than what most people do. It sounds like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like whoever you were working with before tried to get as much time as they could for a bad offer that they were never going to be able to close anyway, and they wasted your time, and that's terrible, and I'm really sorry that they did that to you. We work a little bit differently. So it's not going to be me trying to sell your property. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very professional. I've been doing this for years, but we actually bring in the big guns. So in a novation, what we're going to do is list your property on the open market with a real estate agent. Now, we'll do it exactly the way you want us to do it. So if you want it low impact, hey, I don't want people walking in my house all throughout the week. I don't want endless amounts of damn, I just brain farted that word. Open house. I don't want endless amount of open houses. However you want to do it. Essentially, what we like to do is we like to keep this as low impact as possible. So I'll have my realtor, who is an absolute beast. She is phenomenal at getting properties sold quickly. That's her specialty. She would come in, she would take photos, really good photos, probably do a video walkthrough so that the people who do see your property, they can see it without having to bother you, walk the property, waste your time. Only when we get someone that's actually interested and very serious about closing, then we schedule a walkthrough. The great thing is that this real estate agent, who's an absolute beast, who's been doing this for years and is going to get your property sold very quickly, I'm going to pay her commission. All the closing costs, title, escrow, taxes, I'm paying for all that. So I'm going to work out a number with you. I'm still going to make a profit. This is a business. I have to make a profit, but I'm going to cover all the closing costs. I'll work out a price with you. I'm going to see if I can get you a little bit more than that 130,000 because your mortgage is under 30,000. I'd like for you to walk away with a little bit of money. I know you told me that that's not important to you, but I'd like you to walk away with a little bit of money. I want you to sing wonders about this transaction when we're done. So if I can get you some money in your pocket, that's my goal. Can you make that work? That's how I would have explained
it. Yeah, that was.
It's just a delivery. The words.
Yeah.
But it was your first time. Don't beat yourself up because guess what? It's not the last time you're going to pitch Novation. And are you going to pitch it differently the next time you do it?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, then you learned something. So then it was valuable. So don't worry about that.
Like she understood the gist, but I should have definitely said like power of attorney and just using words that gonna. So basically, I should have reassured her more when it came to actual real estate agent is doing it, and that they don't have to pay no upfront costs, and so a professional is doing it. Like not
well,
me.
I took a little bit of liberty because I'm assuming, based off of what you've told me, that the other wholesaler, whoever they were working with, the other company, did not list the property on market. They just tried to wholesale it.
I was trying to get that information out of her. And then I asked her, I was like, so, if you didn't go with me, you're telling me you do need to get this property. So how would you looking to do that? And then she said, listen it with another company. I was like, huh. So why list with another company, go through all that headache trying to figure out price when they're probably going to lowball you if you might as well just go with. I didn't say might as well, but I'm basically insinuating that you might as well just go with what I'm offering.
So when you're talking to people, and this isn't universal, but it's pretty close. You have to okay, so you guys are young. You guys are fresh out of high school. Oh God, I'm gonna throw up. You guys are fresh out of high school. You guys have all seen those tests where it says, do you strongly agree, kind of agree, strongly disagree? You've seen those, right?
Yeah.
So my psychology teacher, and this is proven to be true when I took psychology in college, it's proven to be true all through my sales career. He said that anytime an official person, meaning like a job interview or anything with an official capacity, if they give you a test like that, they're looking for absolutes. I absolutely agree. I absolutely do not agree. They don't want to see any middle ground.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say that is the way that you explained it, and even the saying it again to me just now, a second ago, it still sounded like you might as well. We can probably. No, what you want to be is absolute. So if I were you, I would call this person back, Ashley, and I would say, Ashley, I was thinking about our conversation, and I think I did you a little bit of a disservice. Do you have a minute? Because I want to clarify something that I think got missed. And then I would go into the entire pitch all over again, but the way that we just went over it just now.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to. I stopped guaranteeing like stuff because nothing's really guaranteed. I don't
Well,
want to.
you can sound absolute without guaranteeing it. You can say my real estate agent is an absolute beast and this is her specialty. That's reassuring. That's absolute, but you're not guaranteeing that you're going to sell her property. You're guaranteeing that she's a beast and this is her track record.
Okay. Wait, can I hear that pitch again? You said, I feel like I'm doing a disservice the way I explained it before.
I don't remember what I said.
That was smooth. And I know this recording not going to be up till tomorrow.
What did I say? I would call her back and I would say, hey, Ashley, you got a couple of minutes, because I was thinking about our conversation when I was telling you about this program. And I really think I did you a disservice by not explaining it all the way. Do you have a couple of minutes? Because there's some information I think will really clear some things up for you.
And then that's when I go into just.
And then you just go straight back into the novation again. But what you're doing is any part that you've already talked about, you're doing some emphasis, and then you're doing some confirmation. So the first thing on the confirmation side is, before I jump into it, Ashley, I want to be very, very clear. The last company that you worked with, did they list your property on the MLS with a real estate agent, or did they just tell you they were going to get it sold in 90 days? You need that clarification, because you're piggybacking off the fact that they did not list it on the open market. And then when she says, oh, they didn't list it on the open market, you say, exactly. That's what I thought. That's the part that we missed. That's where I did you a disservice. We're not having me try to sell your property. Don't get me wrong, Ashley. I've been doing this for a long time and I'm really good at it. But when a situation like this, we go directly to the professional source. I have a real estate agent who is an absolute beast. This is what she does. She gets property sold quickly. I'm going to hire her. I'm going to pay her. I'm going to pay all the closing costs, because you've already kind of gone through that, but now you're doing confirm. You're confirming what she did or what she didn't do. And now you're doing emphasis. We're not doing what they're doing. Just to emphasize, I'm going to hire a professional real estate agent with a track record of getting property sold quickly. I'm going to pay for everything. I'm going to cover the closing costs. I'm going to cover the realtor fees. You're just going to get your money when we close. And don't worry about 90 days. That's ridiculous. I should have told you this before. We don't do 90-day contracts. It's going to be a 60-day contract. And in all honesty, my real estate agent can probably get it done a lot sooner, but because it's going to be on market, as you know, the person who's going to buy it is going to have to go through a bank. They're going to have to get their own mortgage, and sometimes that can take a little bit of time. So we give it up to 60 days. So you don't have to worry about 3 months. That's not what we're doing. And I would just go back into it and then reiterate some of the things that you already said with a little bit more emphasis, a little bit more authority. And then I would then go into some of the things that you didn't quite explain all the way that would help her get on your side, as you said.
Yeah. So you think I should call her back even after she's like, let me talk
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
Okay.
because here's why. Here's why. You can't hurt it. She didn't hang up on you, right? She didn't cuss you out or none of that stuff. She said, let me think about it, which could have been a very polite fuck you. Or maybe she's actually going to think about it because she liked what you said and she's weighing it on if she should try again. So by you calling her back, especially if you posture it the way that I just did or close to it or your version of that, then you can only help the situation by giving her more clarifying information so that she can make that decision. You can't hurt it. So yeah, if you're not really risking anything, why not? And again, let's say you blow it. Let's say that was a polite fuck you. And she's like, you know what? I'm just really not interested. You're going to get to practice pitching this new pitch, this new spiel to someone, which is training. That's practice. So it's valuable. So you're still not losing anything. So yeah, I would absolutely call it back.
I wish it was like a seller finder, like any creative type of pitch. I would have definitely got her.
Well, creative doesn't always fit.
Yeah. Especially for offer. Godly. Okay. Let's go call her back.
Good
Appreciate
job. No worries. Let me know how it goes. Munir, what's up, dude?
Hey Sean, how are you doing?
Pretty good. What can I do
Actually,
for you?
okay. So I'm having trouble, like when I'm pitching my offer to the seller, if it's off market, I have a problem of trying to get them on my side. I don't want to like put pressure on them to take like from my offer, you know? Do you get what I'm saying?
No, you're gonna have to dive in a little deeper in that.
Okay, so whenever I'm pitching my offer, uh, I want to sound like I'm on their team, and
Mhm.
I just say to them, I have buyers that would be interested, and we can close fast. But uh, I don't want to sound like, what's the word?
Thirsty?
So I didn't think, huh?
You don't want to sound thirsty, desperate,
Yeah,
commission
yeah.
breath?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to sound like I'm doing this to make money. Like, I want to sound like I'm trying to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to put pressure on them, is what I'm trying to say.
I think you might want to get away from that way of thinking just a little bit. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
your goal should be to help them, but there's nothing wrong. Look, they're not going to believe you if you try and posture it too thick that you're not doing this for money. This is still your job. It's a
Yeah.
business. You're trying to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. Real estate agents make money. These people who go to work that you're calling, they do a job and they make money. So it's okay that you're trying to make money. What you want to do is not focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that you don't focus on that is you're not trying to get people on your team. You're trying to have these people see you as on their team. So you're not
Yeah.
trying to entice them. You're trying to get them to let you in.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And the way that you want to do that, and I don't mean this in a manipulative way or a sinister way. I mean, we have to get through people's barriers in order for them to hear our message and see if it's beneficial, if it's going to help their situation. So it is what it is. The way that you do that, I'll tell you the exact same way I tell the people on my team.
Mm-hmm.
You have to not care. You have to truly, and I mean truly in your heart, not give a shit if you close that deal or not.
Okay.
That's how you do it. Because if you deep down inside don't care, you won't sound like you care. And it'll have the opposite effect. It'll almost be like people want what they can't have. Or no offense, ladies, but it's popular right now, so I'm gonna talk about it. It's no different than what's going around on TikTok right now, where you see these some women who put men in the friend zone, right? And then that dude now is talking to another girl, and now all of a sudden, well, wait a minute, what do you mean you're not? So when you sound like you have disengaged as far as any attachment to the transaction, it'll automatically come through your voice that you don't have commission breath. Then you don't have to, if anyone who says, I just want to help you, 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 they're full shit.
Okay.
So get away from, you're not customer service. That's the best thing I can tell you. You're not customer service. You don't have to. I don't sound super. Hey, Mr. Seller, how you doing? Thank you so much for taking. I don't do that. What the hell? No, I don't do that at all. When I don't say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with me. No. Hey, I appreciate you getting on the call. I appreciate the fact that you're busy. I'm super busy too. Let's just go ahead and dive in because I have some other meetings I have to jump on. That should be your mentality. So you have to do a little bit of a mental shift.
Okay.
Like,
Do
have
you
you ever
actually
seen?
want me to pitch it to you? How I
Have you
normally talk to them?
have you ever seen a movie called? This is old. It's called 40-Year-Old Virgin. Have you ever seen that movie?
I think I've seen it.
Okay. There's a scene in that movie. So to give you the synopsis of the movie, a bunch of grown-ass men are trying to help this other grown-ass man have sex for the first time. And he's super awkward. He doesn't know what to do. So they're all giving them their version of advice. Anyway, there's one friend that says, hey, go talk to that girl in there. But you know how you're like super nice and polite all the time? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick, but don't be super nice and polite. And it works. Now, granted, this is a movie and that's an over-exaggeration, but that's exactly the same thing. You're here to see what their problem is and then assist them in solving it. And yes, you will be getting paid for it. And by the time we're done with this transaction, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you'll be happy that you paid me.
So should I
That's
stop?
your mentality.
Should I stop using words like I'm really interested and just
Yeah.
say I'm interested? Okay.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be I'm interested, I'm really interested. You don't have to say that at all. This is off market you're talking about or on market?
Sometimes on, sometimes off.
Yeah. So if it's off market, hey, Munir, this is Sean. I was just calling about that property on 123 Main Street. Are you still selling that or have you already got it sold? I didn't say I was interested. I didn't say anything. I asked you a very direct question. Are you still selling it or have you already got it sold? Oh, I'm still selling it. Well, I've looked at the property a little bit and I'm considering putting in an offer, but I'm confused because it's in, and then you go into whatever it's in really, really good shape. It's in a really, really good area. What has been your biggest issue trying to get this thing sold? Because I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste yours. So if there's like bodies in the basement or something like that, man, then, don't worry about it. I'm not interested. That's literally the joke that I make. And that's exactly how I make it. Because it gets them to open up. And then they want to explain. And they want to vent. People like to vent. Why hasn't your property sold? What has been the biggest issue selling it? And if it's off market, I guarantee you 90% of the time, the answer is going to be, I keep getting lowball offers.
And so if I'm also going to offer a lowball to them, how would I?
Not if you're going to do a creative offer.
Okay.
Because if you're doing a creative offer, then you can offer them more than what they're asking, or at the very least, offer them what they're asking. And that's when you explain it to them. Well, when you say lowball offers, what do you mean? You always say, what do you mean? So did he tell you?
No, he didn't tell me.
So ask that question. So when you say lowball offers, what do you mean? And then let them talk, let them vent. If it was just, people calling me with bullshit. What? I understand. Like, you need deeper than that. I understand. Like, real estate agents, just say something stupid. Say something that you know is the wrong answer. Real estate agents? No. Just like different investors and wholesalers or whatever. I mean, full disclosure, Munir, I wholesale properties. I'm not looking to lowball you by any means. I'm more just trying to figure out why the property hasn't sold. And then I've got a couple of different offers that I'm going to offer you. You let me know which one you like, if any, and I'll send you paperwork and we get this thing going. Like, I'm not messing around. And full disclosure, Munir, if I give you all of my options and you don't like them, hey, good luck to you and I won't bother you anymore. I'm not here to bother people. I'm here to buy houses. Did I sound like I wanted commission?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So you just have to change your mindset. Stop caring. I mean, I know that's hard to say. I care. I want you guys to close deals. I want to close deals, but I don't care. If I don't close this deal, I'll close the next one. I know I will. And if I don't, I'll close the one after that. It's not like this is never going to close a deal again. So therefore, I can detach myself from the attachment to closing that deal. And there I don't sound like it.
Makes sense. Actually, I wanted to ask, could we Could we get on a call after the live?
After the live, no, I'm already 26 minutes late for my next
Oh,
appointment.
okay.
But I can do it tomorrow if you want to hit me up in
Okay.
the afternoon. I've got some time.
Yeah, that works. Thanks.
No worries. Ebon, what's up?
Hey Sean, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, man. Good. So I wanted to send you some video that I was able to have my photographer grab me. But I try to send it to you through DMs, but I guess the file is too big. It's only that they're only about 1 minute and 14 minutes each. There's 2 of them.
Well, what are they videos of?
Of the property that I have submitted for you guys in Texas.
Oh, gotcha. Now, you said they got videos. Did you also get pictures or just videos?
I got pictures, but they're not great. So I'm gonna have my photographer. I'm gonna send you what I have, but like
Yeah,
I'm gonna have my photographer send. I'm gonna probably go back tomorrow and take some just better angles. He just has some like really wonky angles that just aren't great. The walkthrough videos are really good though. And he kind of like explains as he walks through where he's at. But yeah.
Who have you been dealing with on on the dispo side? Brandon, Jordan, or Zach?
Brandon.
Okay, reach out to Brandon and get those over to him because at this point I would be the middleman, and because
Okay.
I'm so busy, he wouldn't get them for a few hours. So just email them directly to him so he can get those started ASAP.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Tiffany, what's up?
Hey, Sean, what's going on? Can you hear
Nothing
me
much.
okay?
Absolutely. What can I do for you?
Okay, great. So I'm kind of new to this whole, whole selling financing. So I just have a couple of quick questions to ask, and then I'll get out your hair.
Sure.
So for the cash on cash flow return, for you doing the creative seller financing, what does that number have to be considered a great number?
A great number or an acceptable number?
Well, I guess an acceptable number for whoever.
So the minimum cash on cash return needs to be 10 to 12% as a percentage. The
Okay.
minimum cash flow needs to be $3,600 a year or $300 a month.
Okay, and then I can't remember right. So the cash flow, it can't be like a negative number like what you're displaying, right? So if it's negative for the long term, and then the short term, that's considered bad, right?
Yeah, so essentially, like
Okay,
right there, you see $11,640. That means that if our investor were to buy this property for these terms, they would be losing that amount of money every year.
okay. And then my next question is, I guess, like if when you call a realtor and they don't answer the phone, what do you? I mean, do you when you leave a voicemail, what typically do you say? Like,
Oh, I keep it short and simple. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, or whatever their name is. I just sent you an offer on, and then you say the address. And I sent
okay,
it to this email address, and then you say the email address. You're like, I just want to make sure you got it. If you have any questions, here's my cell phone number. Give me a call. Have a great rest of your day.
okay,
So,
okay.
hey, Tiffany, this is Sean. I just sent you an offer on 123 Main Street to tiffany@gmail.com. I just want to make sure that you got it. Here's my cell phone number. Give me a call if you have any other questions.
Okay, cool. I can do that.
Yeah,
All
short and
right.
simple. And that's usually
Yeah.
what my text message looks like, too.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. So, does anybody else have any other questions before I let you guys go? Awesome. Well, this recording will be up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on the YouTube if anyone wants to see it. And then I will drop the link for the actual playlist for all the recorded trainings in the main chat tomorrow morning. Other than that, I've got a few meetings that I'm going to jump on that I'll be busy for the next couple of hours. Then I'll be in Discord until 9, 10, 11 tonight like normal. You guys have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you later. See ya.